A moving tribute, Andy Allen's heartfelt promise to Jock Zonfrillo's widow. When Jock Zonfrillo's wife reached out to Andy Allen, he didn't hesitate. He knew he had to act swiftly and compassionately. Andy and Jock had formed a strong bond since they started co-judging MasterChef Australia in 2020. But it was in a moment of profound grief that Andy found himself stepping up to provide support to Jock's wife following the tragic news of his sudden passing in May 2023. On the A Life of Greatness with Sarah Grinberg podcast, Andy recounted the heart-wrenching moment he learned of Jock's demise. It felt like an avalanche of emotions, he shared. For him to be gone was a shock, especially since it coincided with my birthday, and I had just spent time with him the day before. Adding to the shock, the news went public in an unpredictable way. The first 24 hours was something I'll never want to experience again. According to Andy, Jock's widow, Lauren Zonfrillo, contacted him in the early morning hours, crying as she delivered the devastating news. She called me from Rome at around 4:30 a.m., deeply upset. Jock was about to move to Rome to live out a dream with his family, splitting their time between Australia and Rome. They'd planned it for such a long time, Andy shared. I knew I had to act. Lauren mentioned that Jock still had interviews to do. To help her out, I offered to complete his press commitments so she could focus on preparing for everything else. Even as he put on a stoic front to handle the interviews, Andy was mindful of the magnitude of the loss he had just confronted. I was determined to remain focused and fulfill my duties. Only after that could I start the healing process, he said. After ensuring he was there for Jock's family and contributing to the funeral arrangements, Andy felt the weight of his grief gradually settle in. It wasn't until my wife and I were on holiday in Europe that the true depth of my sorrow overwhelmed me. It made me realize I wasn't just coping. I'd neglected my own need to grieve. That's when I understood I needed to focus on healing myself first. Speaking with 7 News Spotlight, Andy admitted he still thinks about his friend every single day. The sense of loss is still fresh, even 2 years later. Wherever I am and whatever I do, I can't help but remember him. It's an emotion that hasn't faded one bit. And this is the part most people miss. The way Andy Allen stepped in to manage the immediate responsibilities highlights the intense pressure and emotional toll of coping with the sudden loss. What do you think? How do you handle grief and responsibility in the wake of such devastating news? Share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comments below.